Hi 56, welcome to a new week of writing. This week we're going to be creating a descriptive piece called Space Odyssey. So it's all about taking a trip to outer space. So before I actually go in to what you need to do today, I'll just go through what you should have. You should all have a plan, which I'll go through in a minute. You should all have a copy of the class story, and you should also have a double page document on colors. So I've got this one here and the other page there. The reason why we've given you this, for one paragraph in particular, you need to describe what it's like to view the planet Earth from up above in outer space. And we'd like you to use some colors for this. So remember, we want to get past just using red, blue, yellow, white, for example. We want to see some more description there. So maybe some raspberry red, baby blue, canary yellow, snow white. That's why I've also included this document for you as well, because we really want to see some lovely descriptive writing this week. So we'll go back up to the plan. The expectation for today's session is that you will complete your plan and you'll also complete your introduction as well. So we do have a couple of links that you can view there. The first one is just a link to a picture of out of space. That could be just a stimulus to get your ideas flowing. And you've also got another YouTube video that you can watch there if you want, but that one's probably more optional. So for your introduction, as always, we need a sizzling start, and you need to set the scene. Become the storyteller, engage the readers from the beginning. And remember, it's really important. One thing that we did look at last week when we were unpacking that superstar writing piece was some of those sentences, those simple sentences, complex and compound as well. So also make sure for this writing piece that you do use a mixture of those sentences. So for the intro, you're imagining that you're in your bedroom looking at your window and imagining what it would be like to travel to outer space. So what you need to do is you need to describe outer space using show, don't just tell, and then you're going to reveal it at the end of the paragraph. If you're confused with what I'm saying there, I will go through the class example and it will make more sense for you. What would you like to know about space? So you might want to put a rhetorical question in your introduction. And finally, how would you feel about traveling to outer space? So we do have some words there that you can use to describe your feelings. And we've also added lots of words there in the vocab section, which you're also free to use. You also notice, as well, that we do have some sentence starters. I've actually used way up yonder. For body one, you need to describe what viewing planet Earth from outer space would be like. So what do you see? And this is where we can describe some of those lovely colors and use that document that I've included down below. So what do you imagine would stand out? How does it make you feel? So you could describe some particular landmarks, maybe how small they look from out of space. That's just one idea. But again, when I go into the class story, or when you view the class story for yourself even, you'll have more of an idea about exactly what I mean there. I've also got a reminder to be descriptive with your colors and look at the sheet there also. For your body two, this is about what you're doing in your rocket ship. So you're describing what is happening in out of space. What can you see and what are you doing? So some examples there, you've got observing some nearby planets or some stars, the sun, the moon. But this is really important. I've got this in brackets here. Make sure that this is not your final destination, as you'll be describing that in your next paragraph. So to show you what I mean there, we'll go down to body three. And here you're going to imagine where your rocket ship is taking you. So in body two, you're in outer space describing what you can see around you, but then you're going to be going to a final destination. So some examples could be going to the moon, to Mars or another planet. You could orbit Earth. It could be, or probably not the sun. I was going to say the sun, but yeah, you couldn't land on the sun because you'd burn to an absolute crisp. But for my example, I'm going to be actually going to the moon. Okay, that's going to be my final destination. So in this paragraph here, when I'm talking about what I can see, what I'm doing, I won't be describing the moon there because that's going to be my final destination and the place that I'll be describing in my body three paragraph. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to describe the moon yourself. You can if you want to, but whatever you are going to be describing in your body three, which is your final destination, please do not describe that in your body two paragraph. I hope that that makes sense. And then for your conclusion, you are going to return home to Earth. You're going to describe why outer space is special to you. And as always, with your conclusion, doesn't matter if this is a narrative piece, a descriptive piece, or a persuasive piece, you always need to try to link back to your introduction. And with your coda, there's a few different ways you can finish off with your coda. You can either close with a clever idea, statement, or message that connects to your storyline. You might want to use a rhetorical question. That's what I'm doing for this piece. You could use a nice quote, or you could link back to your title. That's another nice way of, linking between paragraphs and having that link between your title and your coda also. We've got here maybe some emotive sentences. Probably emotive won't relate really well to this piece, but I suppose you could talk about your love for space and what's out there. So I hope that makes sense with what you need to do for your plan. Remember, you'll have exactly the same plan as you can see here. Okay, so for the introduction, make sure that you reread over your plan. And it's really important as well to also include some ideas. You probably don't have a heap of room here, but maybe even you're in the sentence starter section where you do have a fair bit of space there. Jot you down your ideas before you actually start your intro. That would be really, really helpful. And just make sure that your ideas stay on track. So let's have a look at the class story. It's only a short one that I've included for the introduction. A couple of the other paragraphs get a little bit longer. You can also see that I have put a color key here as well, so you can see exactly what strategies that I've used. So I'll read it out and we'll discuss it in a little bit more detail. Way up yonder, out my bedroom window, an extraordinary place exists. Each night I lay awake enthralled by the vast, mysterious, ink-black heavens above me. Neil Armstrong must have been exhilarated by the silvery beams that beckoned him to explore. Questions flood my mind. Does life exist? What more is out there? The universe is a place that is still to be discovered. It's time to set off on a journey. So if I go back up to the plan, it's all about setting the scene. As I said, imagine you're in your bedroom. So I've talked about the fact that I'm looking out my bedroom window. I've described outer space using show, don't just tell. And I've also put a couple of rhetorical questions, can't speak, about what I'd like to know about space. So what is this show, don't just tell? Remember, you're describing something without actually giving it away. So if I go back to my intro here, I haven't said right at the start that I'm talking about the galaxies, the universe, outer space. I've talked about the fact that an extraordinary place exists, vast, mysterious, ink-black heavens above me. And then I've also linked to Neil Armstrong as well, which is he was obviously a famous astronaut, okay? So that's how I've used show, don't just tell. There are the two questions that I've added about what I'd like to know about space. And then I've actually revealed that I am talking about outer space by saying that the universe is a place that is still to be discovered. Okay, so that's how I've included everything in the introduction there that you need to include. Quickly go over the powerful strategies. You can see this for yourself, obviously, though, with the color key here. But I've got a power of 3 with some nice vocab here, vast, mysterious. We've got some personifications about the silvery beams beckoning Neil Armstrong to explore. And there's my rhetorical questions. You can also see, oh, I haven't got it there, sorry, but the dark purple, I will add that. So your plan will look a little bit different because I will add that. The purple there will show cohesion as well. So if I quickly go to my next paragraph, which we'll talk about tomorrow, you can see the words off and off are both in purple there. And that's how I've tagged those two and ensured that my introduction is going to flow into my body one paragraph. So that's all from me for today. I hope you go well. Good luck with your planning and your introduction, and I'll see you tomorrow and I'll talk you through how to complete your body one paragraph. Take care, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.